Do you want to improve at a quicker pace? Check out GITGUDracing.com. I've coached hundreds of drivers, from real-life racers to sim enthusiasts, who experience rapid improvement after just one session. And while investing in top-notch hardware is great, imagine how much more you can elevate your experience by adding coaching to the mix. My methods are practical, aiming to break down complex concepts into easily digestible bits that are simple to understand. You can find reviews of the sessions I've conducted on the Fiverr link provided in the video description. Let's elevate your racing skills together. Now for the track guide. For turn 1, what we want to do is to take this first left-hander flat out. It's gonna be super important to carry as much speed into this first section of the track with these tight corners. The more speed you're gonna be able to carry in between corners, the more time you're gonna gain. Also, we have to focus on covering the lesser distance possible in this medium to low speed corner. So the first one, we really want to go flat out and touch it with our tires. We can even cut a bit more than what I do here. It's perfectly fine. However, our focus point will be under braking, to do the braking with the steering wheel as straight as possible. So if you're gonna brake at this point, you have this amount of steering angle, which is not ideal for braking efficiently. So what I found that works best is to wait a bit more, so do the lift at this point, and whenever I have this part right here, when I'm holding the steering wheel straight, now I want to brake. You have to basically take advantage of this short time that you have on the straight line braking, so you can do most of your braking in this part, especially for slowing down the car. So braking with the steering wheel straight, obviously right now, if you're gonna brake in the lower percentages, meaning 30% or less, the car will tend to rotate more and more and more, which is fine. You want this rotation, but you need to be prepared with some counter steer. Like at this moment, I was already counter steering. So the cars will be very slightly in this part once you will start getting more speed. The common mistake here is to brake a lot harder, like braking to 50% or more. Yes, you will slow down the car, but you will lose a lot of time. So the challenge will be to still carry as much speed as possible, but keep control of the car. Now, braking for this corner right here, I want to have a late apex, so I want to turn late into this corner. You don't want to cut it too much. If you're gonna cut it too much, it's gonna be an early apex and you will go too wide into the next corner. So stick around this curb and naturally you're gonna get pushed in the middle part of the track right here. This is a good spot to be. You don't want to be all the way to the right side. If you find that your car arrives at this curb, you're traveling a longer distance than is needed, and generally you want to have a shorter path into this corner, because if you see how these corners are flowing, it goes like this. It starts with a left-hander, then it's again a left-hander very close to it, so we want to keep it close, and then another left-hander right here. So the main idea whenever we're taking these left-handers is that we almost want to find the shortest line. We don't want to go all the way to the outside and then come back and cut it on the left, like how we would normally do. Just because these corners are very, very close one to another, you won't gain a lot of time if you over prepare a corner, because the straight in between the corners is not that big. So for other corners in which you have a decent straight after it, it makes sense that you will over prepare it by using all the track, but in this case it doesn't apply, just because these are very close together, and it almost feels like it's one single corner. It just flows in that way. But after you take the last one, very important for the last one here, you want to brake very little. Don't brake too much. So if you have to choose the braking force for this complex of corners, the first one is gonna be after the first left-hander. You will brake a lot harder, and after the second one you will just feather the brakes in. And you want to cut this curve as late as you can, so you will get pushed on the left side, but not all the way on the right, because on the right side, but not all the way on the right, because you will get an off track. Now, once you have the car positioned this way, it's very important to go straight and cut this curve like that. It won't gonna be an off track, because if you go around it, you will just lose some time. So cut it like that. And for the next corner, my reference for braking is this grass here on the left. Whenever I see this small triangle on the left, like right now, I'm applying the brakes. I want to use all the track, meaning I can be a bit on the left side. If you're gonna be all the way to the left, it's gonna be an off track, so you have to find the limit. Now, braking in a straight line initially and then downshifting to second, you want to stay close to this compression on the left, because there's gonna be a lot of grip, and immediately go back on power once you're in the middle of the corner. Your car will track out a bit wider, that's fine. If you're gonna carry the speed, that's perfectly fine. Now for this corner, not so easy to find a braking reference. Again, I'm looking on the left side right here, and when I see that I have just a small room left between the pillar on the left and the curb, like this portion right here, I'm applying the brakes. It's not very precise, but it's the best reference that I could find for this corner. Again, you're gonna use this white line. The white line is gonna be in the middle of the car to not pick an off track. If you're gonna be more on the right, it's gonna be an off track. Now in this corner, you want to hit it again in the middle. It's exactly like the previous corner, because if you're gonna meet it too early, you're gonna scrap speed because you will have to do some corrections under throttle. So ideally you want to be on brakes, trail brake, and then immediately go up on power without doing so much corrections. This is a flat out corner. We just want to cut it as much as we can to be as close as we can to the white line on the exit, like right now. And for this corner, again, position so that you will have half of the car to the left of the white line. Turn it with 100% throttle. And as I'm approaching this corner, I'm doing a lift here just to balance the car a bit better. The car can go on the left like this. It's important here to have the right tires on the white line to not be an off track, but you can use this space without getting on 1x. Now for this corner, I'm braking with this reference. There are some drains on the left side, these ones. So I'm braking at this drain in front of me, this one. So whenever my car is on top of it, I'm applying the brakes in second gear and then putting the power down in the middle of the corner. It's quite similar with the ones that we discussed. For the next one, you have to turn in. This is a blind corner and this is a tricky corner. This is a difficult corner. You want here to turn without seeing, obviously. So what I use as a reference for turning is this antenna on the left that will start appearing here, this one. Whenever I see this part right here, I'm already turning right now. So that's my cue that I need to turn in, because otherwise it's very difficult. So again, while you're going uphill, you will notice two antennas appearing, one on the right, this one, and one on the left. When you will see the one on the left, like I'm seeing it right now more and more, you should turn into the corner. Getting it flat out, almost flat out, just a lift, a confidence lift here. You can do it better while being flat out. You have to turn just a bit earlier than you think in order to be flat. So definitely something that I can improve in the lab. Now, once I go to this curb right here and I'm with my steering wheel straight, I'm applying the brakes. So I want to brake as much as I can in a straight line to be efficient. And now at the end of the curve on the right side, I'm turning the car into the corner while still holding the brakes. Very important to trail brake a lot into this corner. You have to turn in late, so you have to look on this curve on the right side. And whenever you don't see it anymore, then you start turning in. Don't turn in before the curve, because otherwise it's gonna be a very early apex. This part right here is an easy flat out. And we're heading now into the last corner. I'm braking whenever I put the car straight. So I imagine right now that I want to go to the next corner while braking straight. So I want to go straight to this curb. And whenever I positioned my car to be straight and I'm close to this curb, I'm applying the brakes. I'm dropping the brakes whenever I'm hitting the curb because I go on top of it and the car is unbalanced. So I'm changing the pressure on the brake based on the available mechanical grip, and because here you have a little less mechanical grip because I'm trying to cut as much as I can, I'm dropping the brakes, but then when I land I'm reapplying it again. I'm not sure if this is the best approach. To me it felt natural, but you can also try going a bit more on the left and braking without going on the green like this. So braking and using this curve and holding a steady pressure of the brakes. To me this one felt more natural, so I used it. Maybe you can gain more if you are just gonna brake more regularly, more standard, let's say. And now putting the power down nice and early. And in short, that's the track guide for the next week and MX5 rookies. I hope you have a great week ahead, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.